So, hello people. This video will be about identification of minor and major seconds in a melodic and, so to say, atonal context. I will rather call this free tonal. And I want to speak less at the beginning of the video, and maybe I speak at the end about some details. Anyway, if you are not a musician, there is some reasons also for you to exercise for this. But if you don't like, I ask for patience and that you watch my video on Saturday. That's actually a composition that I did. And let me explain how the exercise works. First, I will refresh your mind for you have a clear idea of how is the sound of a minor and a major second. And after this, I will play such intervals in patterns of 3. So, for example, okay. I will try to let clear that is a group of 3 intervals, and as you can see on the image, I am always telling what is the last interval. Okay, so for example, on the first exercise, the last one will be a minor second. Okay, then this is a minor second, and so on. And after this, I will repeat the exercise with another times, and also in another parts of the keyboard. Okay, as I say, I will try to speak not so much explaining the exercise. I will just do the exercise. So now you have the minor second. Just to memorize first the intervals. Okay, this is the minor second. And now the major second. Okay, so you have an idea of the interval out of a very tonal context. Of course, you should practice in a tonal context, but here the idea is not this. And by the way, it's very important to understand that this exercise can be easy for some of you, but for other students, it's very important that you take seriously this exercise and that you see the relations to your compositional practices when you are doing this kind of zoom in the properties of the sound. Okay, that's also why I do with another instruments, and that's very exclusive because at the university normally you have just a piano that is oftentimes very confusing. So you have the idea of the intervals. I will play one more time. Major second. Now different. That's a major second, and that's a minor second. it can be very confusing. Now I think it's very clear, but in the practice can sometimes be very confusing. Okay, that's why we will practice this, because there is a lot of mistakes with these intervals, principally when they come together. Okay, so that's a first approach, and if you want more details, of course you can always book an online lesson with me. I will do exactly this, but I will have your feedback and I will answer to it. So the first exercise I will begin now, and just a moment. Exactly. Let me see the sound. Okay. So the first exercise, in every exercise here will be a group of three intervals, and the last one is already given, and you need to understand and to recognize which intervals I am playing at the beginning of the phrase, the first and the second. Okay, and I will play 2 times each one, and so I will do until the number 4, and then I will change the timbre, and then after this I will change also the octaves. Okay, so the first one. Okay, for you really can master this, I will play once more time. I will still not change the no, I will change the time, but I will add some background chord for you and identify now the intervals in the context. Okay, I also forgot to say that this exercise is perfect in the case that you are not watching the video. Do you understand? So please consider to watch it more times and in more contexts. In the next exercise I will explain less, because I think that's a kind of new thing, and I will try to begin direct on the exercise. So anyway, I play now a background chord that is noisy somehow, and I will change the time, and I will repeat this series. So the first one is this group with a minor second at the end. Okay. Okay, as you see, the essence of this exercise and of this of my approach, and that's why I think it's perfect for composers, but not only. I think it's for musicians in general. Is that you have a layer of easy conditions to identify the basics of the sound, but gradually it becomes harder. And also there is another layer where you can, if you are very good with ear training, even better than me, there is another layer where you can take a profit of this and test your accuracy, but not only test, but also to have some creative output of this, because I think this exercise, they are not kind of so boring as some written dictates, how it's called, yeah, diktat. and it comes out of my improvisation and out of my melodic sense. Okay, so they are not just an algorithm, so to say, where you combine different intervals. And here you have in the background this cluster, and if the whole exercise was very easy for you, you can try to figure out what is the sound, for example, in context to in comparison with the other sounds as a reference. And because everything is very slow, so you have time to figure out. And in a modern composition, normally you don't have so much time for this. But it's also true that some compositions, they have they can be regarded, in my opinion, as a very interesting experience for ear training. And unfortunately, in those lessons at the university today, first of all, the teacher has only 45 minutes, and he needs to teach you in some way that is coherent to the final exam, because the school needs a final exam at the end of semester. Here I don't have any final exam. What I want is that you come to the comments and that you say that the last composition you compose, you talk some ideas from this, for example, because I don't know, you try to write some major and minor seconds only, and to figure out the many properties that it can have, even if that's only two intervals and two concepts. Okay, but there is many contexts and can be very confusing. And now I will end the exercise playing also these patterns of three, this group of three intervals, but I will be more random, and I will try to use the more higher tones and lower tones. That's also very important, and in very rare occasions, I got this exercise as I was a student. But it's very important for you as a composer that you understand the different natures of the sound regarding the same concept of the sound. Okay, so for even if you have just one concept of minor second, there is many different manifestations, and many of them, they are relevant today, okay, for the music today. So let's see. Now I come to, let's do another sound. I need to do some pause, just a moment. I will change the sound. So now I have it, this vibraphone like sound, and I will play in different octaves, and you have always written what is the last interval, and that's your reference. Okay, so again, this group of 3 intervals, and the last one, it's already written. If you are just hearing the exercise, so you need to just pay more attention, just to remember that's the major second, and that's the minor second. Major, minor. Okay, and even if that's obvious for you, keep watching and hearing, because it will increase your awareness of the sounds, and later, if there is a more complicated context, you will recognize it better. Okay, so let's do it. Number 1. Okay, so now it will be the last time I will do some chaotic context, so to say, and repeat everything again. Okay, so again, the same series I will do, and it will be maybe more harder, but the main thing is always I try to characterize to play the 3 intervals in some characteristic way. That was a mistake, because the last one was a minor third, and I need to play a major third. We are on the number 3. Okay, so now at the end, I will just play very randomly many minor and second, and major and minor seconds in a very random way, and you try to identify them. Okay. For example, if it's too random for you, then you set the priority for yourself to recognize the first or the last interval. That's the most important part. That's also what will help you in an exam, for example. could play this the whole night. The important information here is that if it was too hard for you at the end, so you just need to repeat the begin. You have a video you can repeat many times, or you book a lesson with me and I can be more accurate after I have some feedback of how you are doing with the exercise. And if it was even too easy for you, the idea is that you probably can compose or are a composer already, or you are a maestro, and this will, because of the length of the exercise and of the grade of repetition, and because the musical examples, they are somehow similar with what you find in the music of the last 50 years, you will increase your sensibility for these sounds, and it will increase also your creativity and your accuracy of interpretation also, and of memorization of this music. So I think that's enough. That's, I think, here 35 minutes. I don't know how long it will be, the video. And I have some footnotes on this way of offering my exercise. The most interesting thing is that I want to do what I would like to have done as I was a student. And one of my main frustrations was the whole lesson with piano, the same sound, and always in a very poor tonal context. The problem is not a tonal context, but always the same tonal context, and at the same time also hard. And what I want is to offer something that has a layer of easiness, yeah, but at the same time that it has some background or some secondary layers of rich musical material that pushes you forward. I think I need to do a video just about this about the ear training and in itself, a meta video, so to say. But here it's enough. I thank you for watching. You can repeat many times this video. You can trim the video and hear just the musical parts. And another thing is that you send to me your answer of the first 4 exercises, because they are easier. And if the answer is more right than wrong, so you become a live lesson with me of 1 hour, about 1 hour in ear training. Okay, and that's the discipline where the students must fail, and also the most important discipline that I perceive as a musician, improviser, and composer. Okay, for many reasons. The problem that oftentimes this discipline is taught, I think, in a poor way. For at least for composers, for musicians sometimes it's okay, yeah. You cannot judge everything, but on my perception, for composers it is not so it's still not so ideal, because the composer needs to foresee the sound in many different contexts. He needs to do sound synthesis, okay. So you need to master the sound, the interval, but you need to recognize it in more different fashions. And even at a basic level of lesson, you can already exercise this. So this lesson is anyway good for who are beginning the recognition of intervals, okay? It's not like tonal first and atonal later. Both things, they begin together, because you want to be a musician of our time, not of the time of Bach. So thanks and see you. Subscribe to my channel. I needed to come back. I don't care how boring it is, but anyway, I wanted to understand the purpose of the exercise and how it works, because otherwise you cannot pay attention to it or get the context, the didactic context of this. And the point here is now, if you identify the seconds, major and minor, now I think you perceived this if you did the whole exercise, that now you have the general idea to understand which is the scale that a composer is using. You understand? Because you have the general concept, and now you can go to more fine nuances of this, so you can perceive the other intervals, and then you can build the whole line. Okay, the idea was not to understand every note, but the intervals. And now you discover that if you have this general idea, now you can go more specific and understand the intervals between these major and minor seconds. For example, now you can understand that there is a tritonus here, because you identified already the most basic element and characteristic element, or because you excluded of your attention some element that is a distraction. And that's very important, because many things in ear training, it's about how your mind works in this situation of musical perception. Okay, so now we have everything, and thanks again, and see you.